tell me what brings you out here today. What are you excited about for the 2024 election?
I drove down here about 330 miles. It's my 73rd Trump rally.
So you're like a deadhead.
Yes, and as a matter of fact, Christine and I saw the dead 365 times. Jerry died. Now we follow Trump.
Well, that's unusual, isn't it?
Well, not necessarily. I was talking to Matt Gaetz. I got a little signature from Matt Gaetz here. And I mentioned to him, he had recognized me from the rallies. I said, yeah, I've been to 73 of them. And he said, I go to a lot of them too. And I said, someday they're going to end. And he goes, yeah, it's like following the dead. I said, exactly. And he goes, I was a deadhead. I go, you just have been elevated in stature in my eyes now. I said, you were a deadhead? He was like, yeah, I was young once.
Let me tell you, what happens if Donald Trump loses again? You say one day the train's going to come into the station. What happens if he loses again?
God help us if he loses again. I think, who could have imagined under Biden things would have been this bad? I think we're on the verge of World War III. I don't know if we can survive till the next election. If he loses again, I believe it'll be the end of the United States of America. I'm not being hyperbolic. Even a great superpower like what we have here, the United States of America, can die overnight in an instant, in the blink of an eye, if the wrong people are in charge. Those prophetic words, I believe, have come true. They're prescient. I believe the wrong people are in charge. We could cease to exist. We're in the Civil War already, and blood has been shed. It's a revolution. It's the new American Revolution. Ashley Babbitt is the Crispus Attucks of the new American Revolution. And she wasn't the only one who died. I'm very tired. I haven't been up.
What about the Capitol Police officers?
What Capitol Police officers died? What? Who? It's all the hoax. None of them died from a result of the rally. That story about one getting beaten with a fire extinguisher, a lie. A lie. No, the only people that died on January 6th were conservative MAGA people, slain by the police.
You do know, though, that people will look at this and hear that and say, this guy's off his rocker. Not just because he's gone to 73 Trump rallies, not just because of, whatever. People are get very into things, right? But when you say that, people are going to say, come on, then I can't listen to another thing this guy's saying if he thinks that didn't happen.
Tell me what police officers died. Who did conservatives kill?
I'm not asking who anybody killed. I'm saying Brian Sicknick died. He died because of what happened that day.
No, he died because of what happened. Not just January 6th. A lot of people died in this country when the liberals, the tolerant liberals of Black Lives Matter, the hoax organization, the grifters, and Antifa rioted across our country for the Summer of Love. Lots of people died. And innocent people who are being persecuted by the government because they were there on January 6th. There's been a lot of suicides. The only victims are the conservatives. A great evil is threatening the world. There's always been a great evil force which has threatened human decency from the beginning of time, and it comes in different forms. 100 years ago, we called them Nazis. Today we call them Democrats. They are the great evil threatening the world. Our country,
so are you equating the Democrats to the Nazis?
Absolutely, totally evil and depraved. And look at what they're doing. They are deliberately destroying this country for political power, and they're persecuting us. They are persecuting us. I am an enemy of the state because I did not vote for Joe Biden. I'm an enemy of the state. And
who's saying that, though?
Joe Biden himself said it. MAGA, the MAGA people.
He's got skin in the game, right? Barack Obama would say that about Mitt Romney, and George Bush would say that about Al Gore. Let me
tell you, I hate Obama. I think he's evil, but I give him some credit. He's suave and he's smart. He's like a James Bond villain. Joe Biden is stupid and evil. It's that horrible combination like Heinrich Himmler, an ignorant chicken farmer suddenly giving great power over people. I believe Biden is the greatest traitor, the most evil force that has ever had control of this country. And if he isn't found just in this world, I'm confident he'll burn in hell for all eternity for his sins and crimes against humanity.
Would you take a bullet for Donald Trump?
Yes, I would. Yes, I would. And I'll tell you, I don't want to. But I'll tell you, if I saw it coming, I would do it because I'd like to leave an America for my descendants. And if he went down, I believe there's no hope for America. I believe this country will die, and there will not be a United States of America, a free country, a free market capitalist, God-fearing country. It won't exist. We'll be part of the one world order. The future, I'm nobody. I can't save America. Only Donald Trump can. And in saving America, he can save the world. If I saw a threat to his life coming, and there were let's rhetorically speaking, if there were no Secret Service agents around, I would jump in front of the gunman. Yes, I would.
Do you think he would do that for you?
I think he would. I think he gave us a great country. Yeah, yeah. Donald Trump is a great, kind, decent, generous man.
Do you think he would take a bullet for you?
Well, I don't know if he'd take a bullet for you, maybe, because I lived in New York for 7 years in the '80s when he was in his rise to power and fame, and he was New York's favorite son. Everybody. Loved him.
I grew up in New York. I'm going to challenge that.
If you were hanging out around Trump Tower, if you were hanging around the Upper East Side near Central Park, you might see him walking the sidewalk, and he never turned down an autograph or having a picture taken. If you said you were a fan of The Apprentice, he'd thank you.
That wasn't the '80s. That was late.
But later on,
Okay.
he would hand out. He would say, "Hey, here's dinner for two in my restaurant. Go." I've heard many stories of his kindness and generosity. He's nice to people. He's a nice guy. He's a polite guy. And the times I've talked to him,
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he would take a bullet for you.
I believe he's the greatest president we've had since Lincoln. I really believe that. And I believe he's the only one who can save this country from disaster. And I would like to think that after I'm gone, that there is a country left for my children, grandchildren, my descendants. And he's the only one that can do it, because I believe the whole Democratic Party, with the exception of two or three, I like RFK Jr.
Who were those two or three?
Oh, RFK Jr. is one of them, I would say. He's an old school liberal. He's the way they used to be. There's only a couple. They all are depraved. They're evil. They're communists. They've gone nuts. It's as if the Democratic Party has sold its soul to Satan, and the Republican Party, and even Newt Gingrich, when I talked to him, verified this. 80 to 90% of them suck. It's beyond the party system. I mean, you go to Washington, D.C., you see the Capitol building. It's not a reverend place anymore. What it is, it's a brothel. It's the biggest whorehouse in the world. They're in there whoring themselves out to communist China for their own personal profit. That's why they hate Donald Trump, because he came there. He was an outsider from New York. He discovered what was going on, and he started slapping them in the faces, figuratively speaking, and telling them, "Get off your feet and you act like Americans. You're a disgrace." And he interfered with the goose that laid the golden egg. He stomped all over it, and they were like, "This guy's got to die." And that's what I really fear. I fear if they can't get him with lawfare, if they can't take him down with these Soviet-style show trials, and everything else they're drumming up, and stuffing ballot.
Is there
boxes.
anything he could do to lose your support?
Not one damn thing.
What
No.
if he walked out of this building right now and shot these two ladies right here?
But you see, he wouldn't do that.
But I'm saying about anything.
Nothing. That's not a thing he could do. No.
So even that, though.
My support is unwavering, and it's not a cult. Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. Donald Trump is my favorite president.
So it's Jesus, then Donald.
Yes, well, Jesus is God. Donald was just sent by God. I believe Donald Trump was sent by God to preserve Abraham Lincoln's promise that a government of the people, by the people, and for the people will not perish from the face of this earth.